to invade the island of Taiwan.
If China invaded Taiwan.
Invasion attempt of Taiwan by China.
The conflict over Taiwan.
Taiwan.
Look closely and you'll see the evidences everywhere, in laws, on license plates, and in official documents. Yet, despite the facts, everyone seems to have a different opinion. Taiwan. Why do the world's superpower battle over this single island? Beijing claims it, the West defends it. But what is it really? An independent country? A province? Or is the truth hidden in plain sight? According to its own constitution, it defines its capital as Nanjing, a city on the Chinese mainland. It raises a massive question. Why does most of the media call Taiwan a country, while their own government officially refuse to do so? If the international community says it's not a state, then what are we looking at? I'm the Dutch Rebel and welcome to Dutch Rebel in China. I've tracked down the original treaties and the raw data so we can look past the headlines and see the full picture for ourselves. Today, we're finding out what is the reality behind the name Taiwan. To understand the situation, history is a very important link that even a lot of people on the island of Taiwan don't even know. For this, we have to go back to 1912, the year the Qing dynasty fell and the Republic of China was born under the leadership of Dr. Sun Yat-sen. According to him, the three principles of the people had to become the foundation of this new China. For decades, the state governed the entire mainland, its capital, Nanjing. Even today, in the official records of the administration on the island, Nanjing is still considered the capital. Taipei is merely the temporary seat. Before 1885, Taiwan belonged to Fuchien province, until it became an independent province that year. In 1895, after China's defeat in the First Sino-Japanese War, Taiwan was ceded to Japan in the Treaty of Shimonoseki and became a colony of Japan. Until 1945, after World War II, the island of Taiwan was returned to the Republic of China, becoming a province of China again. A brutal civil war broke out between the government of the Republic of China and the Communists as early as 1927. According to the Oxford English Dictionary, a civil war is defined as a war between citizens of the same country. The two sides had been fighting for a decade, but they temporarily halted their conflict in 1937 to join forces against the Japanese invasion. However, this was just a ceasefire. As soon as World War II ended in 1945, the pause button was released and the civil war immediately resumed. In 1949, after 4 more years of heavy fighting, the Republic of China government retreated to its island province, Taiwan. No peace treaty was ever signed. The fighting paused, leaving 2 different administrations claiming the exact same country. This raises a question for me. Why is it that we have North and South Korea, North and South Vietnam, East and West Germany, but when it comes to China, it's China and Taiwan instead of East and West China? Let's use the US Civil War as a comparison. If the Union and the Confederacy were still at the standoff today, would you say Florida isn't a part of the US just because they have a different administration? Or consider Korea. Pyongyang does not cease to be a Korean city merely because it's governed by a different authority than Seoul. This is an analogy, not a perfect match, but it helps to clarify the principle. When walking through Taiwan, and even on the outlying islands, you can still see physical traces on its administrative status. Until 2007, license plates were officially marked with the words Taiwan Province. Although newer plates no longer include this text, millions of older vehicles remain on the road, showing that for decades, the administration officially identified the island as a province. This identity is also embedded in the very currency used every day. If you look at the $100 bill, you'll find the portrait of Dr. Sun Yat-sen. He is the father of the nation for the Republic of China, the man who laid the foundations of the state in Nanjing. But look closer at the text on the notes. It bears the name the Central Bank of the Republic of China as the issuing authority. The name of the country printed right there is the Republic of China. If you look towards the edges of this territory, on the island of Kinmen, just a few kilometers off the coast of the mainland, stand massive billboards left over from the Cold War. They read, "Unite China under the three principles of the people," the political philosophy of Dr. Sun Yat-sen, father of the nation of China. The same legal identity is reflected in the official symbols used across the island. The flag flown at government buildings is the flag of the Republic of China, the same design adopted when the government was based in Nanjing. When the national anthem is performed, the lyrics do not mention Taiwan. Instead, they focus on the three principles of the people and the foundations of the Chinese Republic. This is not a matter of tradition, it's a matter of law. The Constitution, which remains the supreme legal document on the island, defines the state as the Republic of China. It outlines a territory and a government structure that, on paper, has continued without interruption since the early 20th century. For decades, the Republic of China held the official seat at the United Nations. But in 1971, the world shifted. Through UN Resolution 2758, the seat was transferred to the government in Beijing. At the time, the US proposed a two-China solution, but both sides refused. Both Beijing and Taipei insisted there's only one China. Shortly after, in 1979, the United States cut formal diplomatic ties with the Republic of China to establish relations with the People's Republic of China. To manage this tension, a pivotal moment occurred in 1992. Representatives from both sides met to find common ground. This became known as the 1992 Consensus. In short, both sides acknowledged there's only one China, even if they disagreed on which administration was the legitimate one. Today, no major global power recognized Taiwan as an independent state separate from China. Even the small group of countries that do maintain full diplomatic relations, such as Paraguay or the Vatican, do not recognize Taiwan as a state. Instead, they recognize the Republic of China. In their legal field, they are not recognizing an island nation. They are recognizing a government that claims to be the legitimate China, with Taiwan as one of its provinces. This leads us to a legal reality that contradicts the headlines. The international system recognized only one Chinese state without recognizing Taiwan as a separate sovereign entity. The Republic of China does not just consist of the province of Taiwan. It also governs a part of Fuchien province, which includes the island of Kinmen and Lianjiang. This creates a unique geopolitical situation. There's a Fujian province governed by Beijing and a Fujian province governed by Taipei. Both administrations govern different parts of the exact same province. Because of this, locals on islands like Kinmen do not identify as Taiwanese. Geographically and administratively, they aren't the province of Taiwan, they are from Fujian. When Western media use Taiwanese as a blanket term for everything living under the Republic of China administration, they are factually incorrect. Here, we can see how the administration is actually built. At the top sits the Republic of China, which has control over two provinces, Taiwan Province and Fujian Province. While Taiwan Province covers the vast majority of the population, Fujian Province consists of the frontline islands like Kinmen and Matsu. Between 1967 and 2014, 6 major cities were elevated to special municipalities. Legally, the cities were removed from the jurisdiction of Taiwan Province and placed directly under the national government. To understand why this legal dispute matters to the rest of the world, we have to look at the map of the Pacific. Strategically, Taiwan is the central link in what military planners call the first island chain. This chain is a geographical string of islands that runs from the Japanese archipelago through Taiwan and down to the Philippines. For any naval power based on the Asian mainland, these islands act as a physical barrier to the open Pacific Ocean. Currently, most of the territory in this chain is controlled by the allies of the United States. If the administration in Beijing were to gain control of Taiwan, the geographical wall of the first island chain would be breached. This would grant the Chinese Navy direct, unhindered access to the deep-water maritime routes. In geopolitical terms, Taiwan is the gatekeeper of the Western Pacific. Beyond geography, there's a second factor that makes the status of this province a global priority: TSMC, or the Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company. The global economy currently runs on advanced semiconductors, and the data shows a massive concentration of production on this single island. TSMC produces over 90% of the world's most advanced microchips, the processors found in everything from smartphones and medical equipment to AI servers and advanced weapon systems. Because of this concentration, any disruption to the island's stability would have an immediate effect on the global supply chain. Economists often refer to this as the Silicon Shield. It means that regardless of the legal definitions or the names written in old treaties, the physical output of these factories has made the island status a matter of national security for every major economy in the world. The debate is no longer just about history or law, it is about the hardware that powers the modern world. Let's summarize all the facts that we have uncovered. Number 1. The continuity. The Republic of China was founded in 1912. Despite the Civil War resuming in 1945 and the retreat in 1949, no peace treaty was ever signed. Legally, the conflict remains frozen. Number 2. The official identity. The administration still uses the symbol of that state, the flag, the national anthem, and the constitution all define the entity not as Taiwan, but as the Republic of China. Number 3. The administrative reality. The territory is not just one island, it includes part of the Fuchien province, like Kinmen, and the currency is still issued by the Central Bank of the Republic of China. Number 4. The international consensus. Per UN Resolution 2758 and the 1992 Consensus, the global legal framework recognizes only one China. Even the countries that remain ties with Taipei recognize it as the Republic of China, not a separate state of Taiwan. Number 5. The strategic weight. Beyond the law, the world's interest is driven by geography and technology. Taiwan is the centerpiece of the first island chain and the source of 90% of the world's advanced semiconductors. When you add these layers together, the picture changes. We call it Taiwan for convenience, but the legal, historical, and strategic reality tells a much more complex story. Of course, this is just parts of the facts. There are so many facts that could be put in this video. If this video can get 20,000 views, 1,000 subscribers, and 2,000 likes, I will make another video about Taiwan to deep dive in some points. Oh, one more thing. I'm sure there are people watching this who see these facts as propaganda from one side or the other. If you view documented facts as propaganda, then this channel is probably not what you're looking for. This channel is for people who are curious enough to question the narratives they were given, not for those who only want confirmation. Can people choose not to identify as Chinese? Yes, they can. Can people try to establish a Republic of Taiwan? Yes, they can. But the reality remains, as of right now, according to the facts, Taiwan remains legally defined as Chinese territory, whether under jurisdiction of the Republic of China or the claims of the People's Republic of China. The name on the maps and the names in the law books haven't changed just because the narrative has. Be critical, be objective, be rational. Stay tuned for the next episode of Dutch Rebel in China.